Demi Lovato was America's pop princess until her perfect world shattered and the battle to survive became her greatest performance. She was just a child when the world first saw her smile on screen. A Disney starlet with talent far beyond her years, charm that lit up every room, and a voice that could silence crowds. To the outside world, Demi Lovato had it all: fame, fortune, fans, and a future paved in gold. But behind the flashing lights and the red carpets, there was a storm brewing. She was a teenager with adult-sized demons, struggling with body image, mental illness, and the brutal pressure of perfection in an industry that sells dreams and silences pain. As millions sang along to her chart-topping hits, Demi was silently falling apart. The pressures of Hollywood, the whispers behind the scenes, the headlines, the rehab stints, the overdose that nearly took her life. But this isn't just a story of downfall. It's a story of defiance. This is the journey of a girl who lost herself in the spotlight and fought like hell to find herself again. From the depths of addiction to center stage once more, this is how Demi Lovato rewrote her story and redefined what it means to rise. It was the summer of 2018 when the world nearly lost one of its most beloved voices, sirens blaring through Los Angeles streets, paparazzi chasing ambulances, fans holding their breath. Demi Lovato had overdosed. The headline said, "Heroin." The truth was even darker, but to truly understand that moment, to feel the weight of it, we need to go back to a little girl with a powerhouse voice and a broken home. Demi was born into chaos. Her father, a talented but troubled man, battled addiction and mental illness. Her mother, a former Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, struggled silently with her own demons. Demi was the middle child, quiet, gifted, observant. She found peace in music, solace in performance, and by 7 years old, she was already in front of cameras, starring on Barney and Friends, smiling next to Selena Gomez, long before either of them knew what fame would cost. Fame came fast, too fast. By 15, she was the face of Disney's next big thing. Camp Rock catapulted her into the spotlight. A record deal followed. Tours, interviews, autographs. But behind the glitter, a storm was brewing. Demi was crumbling, bullied for her weight, haunted by trauma, and already gripped by an eating disorder that began before puberty. The pressure to be perfect, to smile, to sparkle, was crushing. Behind closed doors, she began cutting herself. Food became both her enemy and her only friend. By the time she sang "This Is Me," she barely recognized herself. In 2010, the dam broke. She punched a backup dancer mid-tour, a moment of rage, but also a cry for help. She entered rehab, publicly acknowledging bipolar disorder, self-harm, bulimia, and substance abuse. The world watched in shock. But Demi? She was done pretending. Her comeback was powerful. The album Unbroken gave us Skyscraper, a ballad of raw survival. She was finally speaking her truth. And yet, that truth was complicated, because sobriety, for Demi, was never a straight line. She told the world she was clean, but she wasn't. For years, she drank secretly, used drugs secretly. She would later admit, "I wasn't sober when I said I was. I wanted to be, but I wasn't." Fame demanded a happy ending, but real recovery is messy. She'd go to AA meetings in disguise, tour sober living homes in the morning, sell out arenas by night. She was both icon and inmate in her own life, celebrated, but not free. And then, the overdose. July 24th, 2018. The drug wasn't heroin. It was fentanyl, laced and lethal. She stopped breathing. She suffered 3 strokes, a heart attack, temporary blindness. She nearly died, but she didn't. She woke up, shaking, weak, alive, and in that moment, something shifted. The comeback this time wasn't about music. It was about survival, about honesty, about taking off the mask, even if the world didn't like what was underneath. Demi released Dancing with the Devil, The Art of Starting Over, a searing documentary and album chronicling her relapse and recovery. She didn't glamorize anything. She showed the raw, brutal truth, the vomiting, the shame, the pain. She showed the cost of fame, the cost of silence, and yet, through it all, her voice remained stronger, deeper, wiser. She sang not just with talent, but with scars. Today, Demi Lovato is not perfect, and that's exactly the point. She is not the Disney princess they wanted her to be. She is not the tabloid headline they tried to reduce her to. She is a woman who lived, who fell, who clawed her way back again and again. She is a phoenix, and through every relapse, every breakdown, every near-death spiral, she chose to rise. This isn't just a story about addiction. It's about the impossible standards we place on girls, about how mental illness is shamed, hidden, punished, about what it means to heal out loud. Demi Lovato's story is not finished, but one thing is clear. Fate tried to write her ending, and she rewrote it herself. If this story moved you, share it. Let someone know they're not alone. And if you're struggling, speak up. Recovery isn't a straight path, but every step forward counts. Subscribe for more stories that matter.